It's the National Football League on game. It's the Dolphins and the Seahawks, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
With Mount Rainier in the distance, there are few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect day for football at Lumen Field in Seattle.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Charles, you look at the Seahawks team as they get ready here. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
And he made both sides happy last week, didn't he?
Yeah, 3-3.
I mean, his guys, they caught 3 touchdown passes, but he threw 3 interceptions. Got to get off of that schneid and get back to just...
Right out of the gates, here's Smith. Smith and Jigba with the grab.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Smith. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Another big gainer, 2 in succession as this one goes for 32.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Throwing now is Geno.
Returning right back to Lockett.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Throwing again is Smith. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
They're backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Now Geno.
And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle.
A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Seahawks get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
Personally, for him, a great opening drive. He had 3 catches, including the touchdown.
That felt like tremendous scouting, great film watching, and creating a game plan to start this off, not only to get him involved, but to send a message to the defense. You can have a lot to handle in this one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Dolphins head out, led by the NFL's leading passer in 2023. Now in his 5th season, Tua Tagovailoa.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes, because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 73 yards.
And the Dolphins are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the... As this game moves on.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive.
Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Now Smith.
This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's third down. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw.
That is caught.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. He'll find Metcalf. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll run the toss to Walker. And everyone on their assignment defensively there as he'll be taken down behind the line. Big Calais Campbell fighting through to make the play in the backfield. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Geno now to throw.
We'll get that to Charbonnet.
And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Smith.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution, because he realized he's in field goal range. No sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Short throw to Smith. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Out of the gun on 3rd down. Here's Tua. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away.
It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And it'll be Seahawks. Back over the Seattle Seahawks offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Here's 3rd and 9.
Here's Smith. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
(10-7) our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Tua going to throw. Short throw to Smith. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They were losers to New England a week ago. Now they find themselves in the lead here as they start 1st and 10.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. It's caught. Lockett. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll try for the first with Walker. Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
When we talk about defender-specific linebackers keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Well, right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Now a man who tore up the Packers in the NFC title game a few years back. It's Raheem Mostert.
Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
From the 35, here's a 2nd down and 9.
On play action, here's Tua.
The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense.
Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And this will be a Seahawks 1st down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
And if that run looks familiar to you by Walker, it should. You saw it at Wake Forest, at Michigan State, and in the NFL here with Seattle. A nice start to his career, totaling a little over 2,400 yards from scrimmage and 18 touchdowns in his first 2 seasons.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
At the 43-yard line.
From the gun, it's Walker.
And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Throwing is Smith.
But he missed him, and it's incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it.
Miami set to take over. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with a slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
23 yards, the final tally.
And a good catch there by OBJ and a first down for the Dolphins. He joined a loaded receiver room in Miami, and he's looking to make the most of it. Plenty of big games still available if they find him with the football.
And again, it's Tagovailoa going right back to Beckham here, complete. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Now 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Tua. And that's going to be incomplete. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play.
Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Tua sets up to pass it.
That to the sideline, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Devin Witherspoon.
Well, it's 3rd down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Now a stoppage, and we've got Chubb shaken up on the play.
Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Now Smith.
This one goes underneath to Walker.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Smith.
Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. To the air again, Smith.
He completes this to Walker.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Still 15 yards to go, 2nd down.
Out of the gun, Smith. This one into the hands of Metcalf. So 8 yards on the completion there. 3rd and 7 now.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith.
That one out wide and intercepted.
Picked off by Jalen Ramsey.
And the Dolphins are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 37.
They'll start on the ground with Mostert.
Fights loose. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Here's Tua. Over the middle and complete to Waddle.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And going deep for Hill. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. He's got his target. That's complete.
Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Sanders' kick is good, and that will knot us up at 10.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The final shot here before break. Smith.
He'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. So we have reached halftime here at a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports halftime report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll start up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. Malachi Corley, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting L.A. Chargers. Gus Edwards, a touchdown run in the victory. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They are all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Dolphins getting set to go back to work here in quarter number 3. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one, and we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee Wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up second down.
On the ground, this is Devon Achane.
And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Now it's Lockett. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith.
Throw out wide to Walker.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 6. To the right side, this is Walker.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
To throw is Smith.
That is caught.
And out across midfield down to the 45. How about about 25 yards on third down. They'll take it.
Now that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
Who's one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Smith throwing again.
To the sideline and incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on third down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
Miami's offense set and ready to go.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
A run straight ahead with H.M.
Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not. Did not get back there. It's a safety. I think you have to say this crowd here in Seattle, this 12th man had something to do with that.
As well as the architect of this stadium. Combined with this crowd noise, makes it very difficult to run offense. And here, 2 points result for the defense.
It is deafening in here. This is taken around the 12. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. From the 50, it's Smith. This is Fant on the short completion. They'll give him 4 yards there, and now it's 3rd and 3. Now Geno.
To the right side and intercepted.
Picked off by Jordan Poyer.
And the Dolphins are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on third down. I mean, you just need a yard or two to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
They went backwards for the safety last time they had it. Fortunately, they get the ball back on the turnover, and now they'll begin with a 1st and 10.
After the turnover, it's Tua.
Open man downfield is Waddle. He's got it.
Well, all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Jalen Waddle.
His first touchdown of the new season.
And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
You said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead is up to 5.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
It's a big play there for Seattle. 43 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. They'll fake it. Now Smith.
Still going inside the 20.
And he'll finally be taken down at the 18.
The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down. Toss left side for Walker.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again.
Bradley Chubb there on the tackle. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Here's Smith. Wide open receiver complete.
And the Seahawks are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense could get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
A shotgun snap for Smith.
And he finds Lockett in the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle.
A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year.
And the Seahawks have answered back with a third quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead.
The Seahawks offense staying put out on the field. They're going to go for 2.
The Seahawks will line up for the 2-point conversion.
Geno's going to throw. That's caught. And he will not make it to the goal line here. So they'll be unable to bump this lead up to a field goal as it remains a 1-point game. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Dolphins offense and Tua Tagovailoa headed back out onto the field. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And CD, sometimes you don't need those complicated game plans or the added wrinkles. Last time out, you think about it, couldn't have been any simpler. One play, one pass, touchdown.
I know those coaches put a lot of work into this game plan, but I don't think they mind possessions like that at all. They just saved those calls for this possession instead. And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They'll bring the tight end in motion right.
Achane gets it from the gun.
And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And we've got a dandy here. A one-point game as we begin the fourth. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he is going to lose yardage here. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
In motion goes the tight end. Now it's Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Smith now to throw.
Smith and Jigba with a grab.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
It's a gain of 11. And the Seahawks first down.
Off of play action. Here's Smith.
Going right back to Smith and Jigba.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down and 6.
On the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Straight ahead, Walker.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Had a chance to give themselves there some important wiggle room, but it went awry.
Yeah, let's do the simple math here, and you know for me it has to be simple. Instead of this thing kind of giving them that wiggle room you talked about, now we're talking about possibly losing a ball game because they left the door open.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their defense was able to hold serve, albeit with a little help from that missed field goal as they settle in now 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive.
And showcasing those strong legs on that run. Getting through 1 tackle. Gosh, he winds up getting 8 there.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Looking to pass. Tua.
That's going to be caught by Waddle.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Tua to his Alabama teammate Waddle. 1st down, Miami.
Oh, and they set the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still 1st down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll send the tight end in motion. Now Tua. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Tua sets up to pass it.
He'll dump this off to Achane.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Out of the gun on 3rd down. Here's Tua. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
He already did his primary job with an interception earlier, but here he gets a chance to be a pass rusher and takes on the challenge of blitzing and makes another big play. That's something to file away and maybe break out later in this one or in a future game.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And out now come the Seahawks. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll get about 3 up past the 25.
And this is the worry because sometimes you get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley.
He's still on his feet.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle.
Kenneth Walker, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So that drive, 4 plays.
And it was Kenneth Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field.
And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Tua into the hands of Beckham.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Here's 2nd down. Throwing Tua.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
No tougher place to be in a spot like this than Seattle. Here's 3rd down.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together to watch a game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Here is 3rd and 5. And Walker once more.
And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Here we go on 4th. Smith.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. A gutsy decision there, going for it on 4th, but they got it, and that likely puts an end to this one.
Indeed, it was gutsy because there's so many other options they probably could have exercised in that situation, but they bet on themselves, and it paid off.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. So the performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through, and they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Seahawks, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Miami, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.